All right, we are live. Let me turn my dehumidifier off. But we are live. I need to put that on a timer. We are live. So welcome. We are still banned on YouTube. Our channel is still suspended. Still facing 87 days left of our suspension. It's getting old. I'll tell you, I'm still waiting on seeing if I can get that second strike removed because I think it's very unfair. But luckily, I didn't delete the video because I deleted the first one. Can't repeal it. I can't appeal it because you deleted the video. You can't appeal the strike. I'm like, what sense does that make? But yeah, so I shot myself in the foot on that one. But not the first time I've shot myself in the foot. I got the scars to prove it. I shot myself right through the top of my right foot one time. Through the top and out the side, bounced off the bone. So that was fun. Was a 22 long rifle. Glad it wasn't like 357 or anything. I lost my fucking foot probably. All I lost with that was, well, blood and a flip-flop. It blew out the side of my flip-flop. Flip-flop, flip-flop. Some people call them thongs. I've never understood why some people call them thongs. To me, a thong is like a little string bikini bottom. I ain't never wore no thongs, but I wear flip-flops all the time. Till I discovered Crocs. Once I discovered Crocs, I was done with flip-flops. Once I discovered Crocs. Crocs is awesome. Boom, boom, boom. But get your questions and stuff in. We will get started as soon as possible. Remember, if you can, if you can afford to, please help the channel, especially now that we are suspended. Go buy some merchandise, get entered in the Holosun giveaway, or just get you some entries. We're well over halfway there now. We added like another $60 yesterday and today combined to the total. We were at like 340 yesterday, so we're probably around 400 now. And I said once we got to 620, we would give it away. So every little bit adds up. Let me see. I think we had an order today, if I'm not mistaken. I already counted it towards the, I think I already wrote them down on the Holosun giveaway. Let's check and see. Did I? Yeah, Stephen Sharp. Stephen Sharp. Do, 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 do. Stephen Sharp bought some magnets and I do believe a mug or something. Let's see, what else was it? They bought some magnets. Yeah, and a mug. Oh, he got a couple mugs and magnet. 3 mugs and a magnet. Oh, he could have got, if he'd bought one more mug and one more magnet, he would have gotten 10 entries. Why didn't he buy one more mug and one more magnet? Wait, make sure it's 3. Yeah, it's 3. Okay, he got 3 mug magnet combos. So he got 3 entries. If he buys another magnet and mug combo, I'll add it to that and give him 10 entries eventually. But for now, he got himself 3 entries for that. That's $15. $15 approximately for the channel, for pets and vets. Pets and vets. Pets and vets. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. It's actually $16, I think. I mean, he might have bought an extra magnet. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. But feel free to get your questions and comments in. We'll get started as soon as possible once the hour rolls around. Now, remember, we can't do super chats right now because we're on my backup channel, which does not qualify for super chats because it doesn't have enough subscribers. So if you want to do a super chat, get entered into the drawings like the Hollow Sun drawing, the knife drawing, and also the holster drawing now, because if you win a knife or a grip, you can choose a holster instead. We got all kinds. This one's really nice for the 26. I got some pictures taken today, but not all of them. You're going to have to bear with me. This one is a 1791. I don't remember what it's to, though. I want to say, well, I can't get a gun and see. I want to say it's a P320, but I don't know. It looks like a P320. This one I do believe is something. I don't know what this one is either. This might be a SIG. They don't put what they are on. And I don't keep the bag, so I never wore the holster, but I didn't keep the bag, so I don't know what it is. I have to look at see what I've ordered from 1791 holster. See if I can find the stuff. But remember, get your questions and comments in, put them in the live chat, send them to, and make sure put out the Yankee Marshal. No, the Yankee gearhead in front of them if you want me to see them. Also, remember, you can still send the emails to the same location, shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. If you got pictures you want to share. If you want to help support the channel, do a super chat. The only way to do that right now is through the link over there, the super chat and giveaway links. I'll take you to my website. You can either do a super chat over there, get entered into the ammo can drawing, or you can get entries into the silver bullet drawing and other stuff also, which you will get entries into the silver bullet drawing and other stuff also. So please do if you can, since we are suffering right now, because we only money we earn on YouTube is super chats. Let's see here. Who is this? This Clinton Barella just got more ammo. Oh, he's the first on the new ammo can. We got to start the new ammo can giveaway. Ammo can week 8. We're running out of ammo cans. Clinton Barella. Did someone else donate today? I think someone did. Oh, Stephen Sharp. He bought merch, but he also did a donation into the ammo can entry. So he was actually the first one. Clinton Barella the second. So there we go. There's our entries into the ammo can. Ammo can. I know it's itchy. We made a whopping $1.35 on YouTube yesterday because of luckily for YouTube Red. My views are dropping so bad over there because I'm not putting anything new, so I'm not getting any views at all. They were already cutting my views down, but then they really, really cut it down. Salvador Verga got more interest into the Hollow Sun giveaway. So that's more for that. That puts us even higher. Where's he at over here? I know he's over here. Here he is. So let's add to his entries he's got. He's already got some. Boom. Oh, God, yes, I'd wear those. Someone buy me those. I'll wear them right now. I wear size 12. Let's see. I was just looking at my son's shoes a minute ago. I actually started to put his on by mistake because he sat his shoes where I usually sit down in front of the couch when I take the shoes off. And I was like, well, these ain't going to go on my. I was like, oh, these ain't mine. He wears an 8.5. He's like 5'10". He wears an 8.5. He's not even 5'11". He's just a little shorter than me. He's like 1.5 inches shorter than me. 8.5 shoe. I'm like, I'm only, at my peak, I was 6'1", right at the dot. And, that's why I was in the military and stuff and young, and I hadn't been beat down by the weight of the world yet. Now I'm just a hair over 6 feet, and I wear 12. So he got some tiny feet. He's also got a tiny head because sometimes he'll take my hats and wear them, and then I go to put them on, and it's like they sit up here because it's like that's too small. But feel free to get your questions and your comments in. What do you think of carbon fiber overlays in cars? Well, it depends. Is it real carbon fiber or is it fake carbon fiber? Well, a lot of cars come with fake carbon fiber. My Mustang's kind of got some trim that's fake carbon fiber. Uh, on my Camaro, I put real carbon fiber overlays in there because you can buy replacement parts that are like 5 times as expensive and replace the whole part, but it's basically made of carbon fiber overlay on a plastic backing that you just replace it with. The overlays are pretty much the same thing, except that they just go on the part you already have. But if they're real carbon fiber and not the flexible kind, I like the dry carbon fiber that's actually shaped to fit, not the rubbery carbon fiber. I like the dry carbon fiber. They're hard and they just click right onto your stuff. And that's just like having the replacement part, basically. So I guess it depends on, like, if you go to carbon add-ons and get real carbon fiber overlays, that's awesome. If you get fake out of like off of Amazon for like $25 a piece, those are kind of cheesy. But if they look better than your regular stuff, I don't care. If it looks good, it looks good, even if it's not real. But I prefer the real. It just looks better. I think it gives you more depth when you see it and everything. It's not just a print on plastic. And he said I could answer that now. I didn't. He didn't said I didn't need to save that till the chat. 5'9", you short little bitch, ain't you? Little shorted bitch. He's a member of the Lollipop Guild. He represents the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild. I got that stuff on this channel till I opened the chat. But I guess you are. I don't know why you wouldn't be. Boom, 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 boom. But they fucking delayed my package. I knew they were gonna. Was supposed to be here today, and I've been looking at it all day, and it keeps saying arriving today. And I'm like, it's not gonna arrive today. Because it wasn't showing out for delivery yet, but it kept saying arriving today, arriving today, arriving today. And now it's like, oh, it's gonna be delayed till Monday. I was like, no kidding. And I paid an extra $12 to have it delivered by Saturday. If you paid an extra $12 shipping, it was free shipping through Amazon. But if you paid $12 instead of getting it Monday through Wednesday, you'd get it Saturday. I paid the extra $12 on a $25 part. So now I'm pissed because why would I pay the extra $12 to get it the same days I would have gotten it normally, Monday through Wednesday? Pissing me off. They are pissing me off. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Daniel man, do do do. Got my watch today, my knife today, but no patch. Well, they will. If you want both a knife and a patch, they will probably come separate, and the patches will probably get there after the knife because the knives go first class mail. You know, they go whatever they call it, priority, whereas the patches, if I put them in a regular envelope, they'll go regular mail. And if I didn't get them in with your knife, uh, if I didn't put your two things together like you want on different days and I didn't notice, they'll come separate. And I know there's a couple that are coming separate. So you'll probably get your patch a day or two after you get your knife. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. We got one entry into the ammo can giveaway. Ammo can. Ammo can. Get your questions and comments in. We'll get started as soon as possible. Da, da, do, da, dee, 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 do, dee. I was trying to open that from the wrong side. That would have been difficult. Da, 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 do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Who's slandering Miatas? Miatas are awesome. Miatas are like the last true roadster you could actually buy. Closest thing to a real sports car, real classic sports car, roadster style you can get. I love a Miata. I would love to have one of the hard top convertible Miatas, the RFs. What does the RF stand for? I forget. Retractable something. Retractable fastback. I knew it was retractable something. Retractable fastback. That's the one I want, the Miata RF. D, 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 D. D, 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 D. Yeah, they only have like what 170, 180 horsepower, but they don't weigh not much. They weigh like about as much as a milk carton, and they throw those things around the road. So small, maneuverable. They're so much fun to drive. One of the most fun to drive cars I've ever driven, I will have to say. It's like, you remember what it was like when you were young and you drove a go-kart and how you felt like you were going so fast and it was such a thrill. It's kind of as close to as you can get to that in a car. So it's freaking awesome. Transmission problems are highly over emphasized, and ain't nothing you can't fix. They're exaggerated is the word I should use. Da, da, do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Dee, da, do, da, do, da, do, do, do. Do, 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 do. I mean, if it really bothers you, just go out and get you, put the upgraded synchro gears in it, and you'll be fine. Just beef up it a little bit, because that's the only real issue is the third, fourth gear synchros goes out. And that's not very often. It's very few. And you'll know it's happening if it starts to happen. And generally it happens in the warranty period. So if it does happen, you can usually get it replaced. And when I got replaced, I'd have it upgraded. How much does it cost for those? Hold on, let me see. Aftermarket. Get an entire upgraded rebuild kit, but doesn't give the price. Let's see. There's one for the They're just not giving me any prices on anything. It's like, how to bulletproof upgrading or replacing third geared Mazda Miata usually involves a heavy duty OEM component or specialized 9310 alloy for motorsports. Does it tell you how much it costs? Doesn't say. Let's see here. Oh, you can replace all the gearing in the transmission for about $1,800. So that if you felt like you needed to do it, you can do it. But I'd wait till I start having a problem with the existing one, because from what I've heard, they've started upgrading the existing ones anyway. Should load up. Edgar Cortez said he got the link just to load on his phone, but not on his computer. It should work just the same on your computer. You're just going to the Yankee Gearhead channel. Let me see if I can get a link to just my channel. Your channel. Get a shareable link. How do I get a shareable link? Shorts, music, Gearhead. I think this does it. Let's see. Boom. I think that will work. Nah, I don't. I mean, those are fun to drive, but those don't have the handling a Miata has. Miata is primitive and raw, but it still handles like a dream. It feels like you can just put it exactly where you want. I mean, if you want to nick something with your front tire, you can do it every time. Like if you want to hit that line, hit that line, hit that line. John Bain asked a question. It does not get an entry though. So, all right, we'll get started here in a second. We don't really have a lot of questions coming in yet, but we'll do what we can with what we got. There's only 55 people here right now. All right. So get your questions and comments in if you can. All right, let me get the emails open. All right. We're going to get started. We ain't got a lot, but we'll go as long as we can. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another day of our YouTube suspension. So we're over here doing our chat on our backup channel. This is our banned from YouTube MURCA Guns and Freedom chat. As expected, we get a lot less people in here and less questions. But if you've got questions, get them in, put them in a live chat, send them to me via email at shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. If you put something in the live chat, make sure to put at the Yankee Gearhead in front of it instead of Marshall. Just put instead. That'll get your stuff noticed by me. Also, if you want to help support the channel, you can't do a regular super chat through YouTube because this channel doesn't have enough subs to be eligible for that. So you have to go over and do it through the link over there, the super chat and giveaways links. That'll take you to my website. On there's all the links you need to do anything. Do a super chat to get on the, the canned ammo giveaway, go buy merchandise and get into the Hollow Sun giveaway, or just get entries into either one of those without buying anything or saying anything. There's links on there for that. There's links where you can become a patron or a Subscribe Star member. If you're not already either a Patreon member or a Subscribe Star member or a Facebook member, become one, because once we got banned, there was no way for me to let people know unless you followed me on Facebook, Patreon, or Subscribe Star. So join one of those three. I prefer you join Patreon or Subscribe Star and access support. There is a free Patreon membership level, but I don't often send links to those people, but they're there. Facebook is the free option where you'll actually be able to make it to where everybody can see it. So either pay on Patreon or Subscribe Star or join Facebook. And that way I've got a way to contact you if things go bad. With that being said, I want to go ahead and just read the number of people who made orders today. I think there's only one person. Yes, Stephen Sharp is the only merch we sold today. He got some mugs and some magnets, but he did 3. I don't know why he didn't do a 4th mug and magnet. Then we got 10 entries instead of 3, but he did 3 magnets and 3 mugs combinations. So he got some entries though into the Hollow Sun giveaway and made $15 for us today for the Pets and Vets. We are over 400 right now, I would say. So we're getting close to that 620 that we needed to earn to give away the Hollow Sun, although we need to earn more than that this month now because we didn't plan on getting banned from YouTube. But it happened. But we'll deal with it. But feel free to get your questions and comments in. Like I said, live chat, email, or super chat, and we will do our best to answer all of them. Let me get over here and answer stuff coming in via email and PayPal first. Clinton Barella said Tennessee legislature passed a law mandating firearms education in public schools. Your thoughts? Should it be mandatory or voluntary? Well, if it's going to be taught in public school, then I'm okay with mandatory, because there's all kinds of mandatory things taught in public school, and there's no constitutional amendment to make you free. You should be free from indoctrination for gun training. It's safety training for kids, and I firmly believe that all grade schools should give all the way up through junior high. You should preaching that to high school kids is a little much, but grade school, junior high, yes, it should be mandatory handgun training, safety training. I'm a firm believer of it. Oh, there, the PayPal link is pinned over there. Can you not see it? Oh, you can always just go to my website, tympistolproject.com. That's where it takes you anyway. Oh, we just got an order. From who was this? Michael Harmon just got an order. Michael Harmon, and he got one entry into the Hollow Sun drawing. So he bought a Armed and Dangerous t-shirt. I'm surprised. I like that t-shirt. We don't sell a whole lot of them. It's the one where it says on the front, what does it say? That says warning. It's a warning sign. It's like warning, the person wearing this shirt is considered armed, is considered by the media, politicians, and blah, 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 to be armed and dangerous. To be armed and by the media, blah, 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 dangerous. So, but yes, getting back to the question I was answering, I'm totally okay with mandatory gun safety training in schools. I think it should be something that's required, because people are always complaining like, oh, kids and guns and well, educate them. Let them know the dangers, especially once they start getting to teenage years. And that's when it's more effective, like junior high, teenage, 13, 14 years old. That's going to be more effective. They'll learn more. But even at the young ages, you can teach them some things, how to behave and blah, blah, blah. So I'm all for the mandatory training for kids. Kids don't get to choose what they're taught in school. And as long as it's not anything that's a violation of their rights, like preaching them education or something, like reading them Bible verses, that should be illegal. If they want to get Bible verses, they get those at home. I mean, they can read the Bible at school. People are like, I want it to be legal to read the Bible at school again. Well, it's legal to bring your Bible to school and read it anytime you want to yourself. You can't preach to other people. You can read every Bible you want. But yes, it should be mandatory, and it should be in more schools. Where is, I know I had another one. That was the ninja there. Hold on. Daniel Mann said, thoughts on weapon mounted lights for CCW. I have no opposition to it. I don't think it's necessary, and I think it makes it more difficult to find holsters and stuff. But my own personal preference is I don't want my gun and my light combined. I don't want to have to say, hey, I want to point my light at something, but now I got to point my muzzle at it too when my gun is loaded and in my hand. So I like having a flashlight in my pocket. I can pop out in my weak hand and I can use it to search, because I can shoot my gun with one hand. I don't need two hands. That whole, you got to have two hands to have control. No, I can hit a bullseye with one hand all day long with my carry gun. So I would rather have a flashlight in this hand, do the old FBI, be able to put my flashlight where I want it without having to put my gun barrel on it. That's my own personal preference, but I don't got anything against them. I'm not going to sit here and say, if you do that, you're some sort of tactitard or something. Nah, I'm okay with it. Do it. I got no problem with it. And he's all one that asked about the knife and patch coming separately. Sean Baines had got the mouse gun patch today. Everything okay. I was on a page today. They were talking about 380 and double stack 9mm, and when someone going to make one, why? When they already exist. Double stack 380s? Double stack 380s, yeah, they exist. I don't know about a 380 double stack 2011 or 1911, but I know double stack 380s exist, like the Cheetah. I guess that's what you're meaning. Let's see. These emails don't have pictures. Looks like the water crisis is going pretty hard. He said Puerto Rico in the thing. I'm not following what's going on in Puerto Rico. The problem is right now is there's not enough desalination plants, because desalination is pretty expensive. Not a lot of places have the proper renewable energy infrastructure to run them. If they ran them with renewable energy, they'd be a lot less expensive. Desalination plants have one of the same problems that data centers have. They use a lot of energy. At least the desalination plants don't use a lot of water, but they do produce a lot of brine, because that salt is left over afterwards. Now we'd have to find some use for that salt, because you don't want to just pump it back out into the ocean. That's bad for the ocean, bad for the environment. But, and desalinization is never going to totally solve our problems. It would help if there was some more, but we are really going to have to start conserving water and not just throwing it out the window all the fucking time. And maybe, stop living in places where there's no water. Like, all Colorado is cutting off like Arizona and other places. So it's going to get bad there pretty soon. Per Gustafsson said, hold on. Said, I watched a new video today from Texas Gun Vault 2. He had a video about you. It wasn't a temperamental rambling or anything, just some critique, I guess. Not that you care, probably. No, I don't care. I don't know who that is. I figure if they got something they want to say to me, they'll come here and say it. Otherwise, I just let people say what they want to say. If they want to come to me and say it, that'd be one thing. But very seldom do they come to me and say it. Ezra Mabel chimed in here and said, from an enthusiast's point of view, do modern features such as DCT, hill start assist, and automatic rev matching enhance or detract from the manual experience? I don't think, well, the hill, I like the hill start assist. I like how it manually holds your brake for a second for you until you start to have forward momentum, and then it releases the brake. So that I like. I mean, I can't find any fault with that whatsoever. As far as the automatic rev matching, I've only driven one car with it. And to be totally honest, I couldn't notice much. I was like, I guess it's doing it. I don't know if it's doing it or not. And I'm not a big heel toe guy. I'm not out there driving to that level on a daily basis where I got to be doing a lot of heel toe work. So Caden is more into it than me because he had me teach him how to do it, because he's like, how do you do the heel toe? I was like, well, here, but you're probably never going to need to. If you need to, you're probably going faster than you should be on windy roads. So I just have never noticed that much of a need for it. And like I said, the one time I drove a car that had it, I didn't notice much difference. What car was that I drove that had that? I can't remember. I want to think. I can't remember what it was, but I remember thinking it can't. I'm blanking right now. As far as like a DCT, to me, the DCTs, it's a lot that can go wrong, because when you're getting into the DCTs, which is a dual clutch for people who don't know, a lot of times there's a lot of computer control involved in that. Well, almost always, where you're basically telling the car what you want it to do, and then the computer kind of figures out how to do it the way that it's meant to do it. And I don't know if the advantage is worth the extra complexity. So I just don't feel a need for them. And I don't see a problem with grinding a gear every now and then. Lets people learn. They grind a gear every now and then. So the only one of them I really do like is the hill assist, because like I said, that's not making your transmission more sophisticated or more complicated or any of that stuff. It's just automatically holding the brakes until you get some forward momentum, and then it lets them lick. And that I find to be very helpful to a lot of people. And I wish more people had it. So that way, when you're stopped on a hill at a red light or something, or a stop sign, you don't have to worry about as many people rolling back into you. Another day, we were in a parking garage, and I pulled up, and someone was jerking their way up to the and I was like, I'm going to stick back from these people because they don't know how to drive stick shift. And when they went to go, when they raised the arm and they went to go, because you drive up out of it, they rolled back like a car length and a half. And I'm like, glad I stayed back. And I don't want to say it was a woman driving it, but it was a woman driving it. That was a good car question. I found the link and it took me to your website. Now what? How do I submit a chat? If you're in the chat, you just put it in the chat. If you're doing a super chat, you go to my website and you click that little button that says do a super chat and win a can of ammo. The old people trying to figure things out. I guess he figured it out though. He said, I finally figured out the PayPal link. Edgar Cortez said yes. Old people in technology, I swear. I mean, he's not as old as like Dale Rickety or nothing, but he's getting there. Do you own any compact 1911s? If so, what are they? What caliber are they? Well, I do. I think I only own two. I own two officer models, is what you. Well, wait. Are you saying 4-inch as a compact? Because that's a commander, and I got a bunch of commanders. I've got. Well, I guess I only got a bunch of them, but I got some. I got rid of a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 commanders. And they are 45s ACP, except for one of them, which is a 9mm. That's Caden's. Because I gave him that Bull Armory one. But if you mean officers models, the real small ones, well, that is something different. And have a couple of those, and they're 45 ACP also. Okay, but this one's got this email has got a picture, so let me include it. Boom, boom. Look at these shillelaghs. They have a nice shellac finish. You know, I think I've seen this guy's shillelaghs before, the combat shillelaghs. I've seen the video he made making his shillelaghs. Because I've won a shillelagh. And then we got one more email with a picture, and then I'll get to the live chat. These were more fun to drive than a Mazda Miata. I disagree. He said he disagrees, and I disagree. I've driven bucket cars and kit cars like those and stuff, and they're fun, but they don't have the maneuverability and the sportiness of a Miata. A Miata, it's so light, but it's still got enough oomph to be fun and maneuverability out the ass, handling out the ass. But those are fun too. But those are far more like driving a go-kart on the road. Let's see here. Where was I? Let's get to, I think we just need to get to the live chat now. Let me get the live chat up. Oh, I think never enough ammo's in here. Hold on, I don't know if I can send a link. Can I send a link? Will it let me let people in? Let me see. If it will, I'll send him a link. If he wants to come in, he don't got to come in, but he might be busy. But I'll send him a link. And who's it sending from? Okay, well, I sent it. I don't know who it's going to show up from. There we go. I sent him a link in case he wants to come in. Now more than ever, I'm 99% sure the Stang 4-door is near us. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I'm hoping they won't call it a Mustang, but it's supposed to be a competitor for the Charger 4-door, of course, and the Panamera, what do you call that damn thing? That 4-door Porsche. Supposed to be very similar to that. I hope they give it a different fascia and just don't call it a Mustang. Just call it a Mach 4. That'd be fine. Mach 4 sounds good to me. You have one missed message on the Discord app. Well, I don't ever check the Discord, so I don't bet I got more than that. Edgar Cortez said, I am 79 years old and have a huge advantage over most of your viewers. I can't die young. Well, that's like that's same with me now. I'm at that age where if I die, people aren't going to be like, oh my God. They're going to be like, oh, well, that sounds about right. And another good thing about being my age is I can't have early onset anything. There won't be no early onset of nothing for me. If I get anything now, it's about right time. So that's a plus, I guess. You need to put two 15-inch subwoofers and a few good speakers in your Stang will be complete. Well, I've already got subwoofers in it. I got the ones mounted in the trunk. They're not as good as the ones that came on my Dodge. My Dodge had the best subwoofer. Of course, it took your entire spare tire section in there, but that one I liked better than the one on the Mustang. The one on the Mustang's good, but Dodge really does well on their speakers. So I really give them that. Oh, excuse me. What is uglier, Crocs or toe shoes? Well, I don't think Crocs are ugly. And I don't know if toe shoes are ugly or not. I don't own any. I don't like the idea of something between my toes. You know how they go between your toes? I don't like that idea. That's one of the things I don't like about flip-flops. I don't like that the strap goes between your toes. That bothers me sometimes. And it bothers me. USPS delayed your delivery till Monday. No, UPS delayed it till Monday. UPS is the fucking worst. They're the worst. They're awful. Thoughts on the Yamaha T7 Tenera? That isn't just the Tenera 7. I didn't know it was a T7 Tenera. I thought it was just the Tenera 7. Am I wrong? But I like it. I mean, I like the KLR 650 better, but the Tenera's going to have a little bit more oomph. It's a 700, isn't it? If you like Yamaha, well, that would be the one you'd want to go with. I prefer Kawasaki over Yamaha, but if I liked Yamaha better, I'd go with the Yamaha. Although I do think the Tenera has a few, I think it's a little more streamlined than the KLR. So I do give it that, but I'm a KLR fan. So I would say get a KLR 650. I don't know. The Tenera, I think, is a little more streamlined. It might be less weight. Let's see. Yamaha. Oops, I didn't spell Yamaha right at all. T7 versus KLR 650. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive. I think is it lighter? Let's see. Weight. The Yamaha, it weighs 452 pounds. The KLR weighs 456 pounds. So yeah, it's a little lighter, like 4 pounds. So the Tenera, it just looks a little sleeker than the KLR. I think it's got a lower seating level, which you would need because you're a midget.
Who the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're talking about a KLR 650 motorcycle. Shut up. I'm talking.
Yeah, what about the KLR 650?
I used to have
Who are you talking to?
I'm simul-chatting. I'm on my channel doing a live chat, and now I'm on your channel doing a live chat.
Well, I'm not on my channel. I'm on my backup channel. My channel's suspended.
Yeah, what the fuck did you do?
I don't know. They won't tell me, but I got 2 strikes in one day. See, I'm on a 90-day suspension. They won't tell me why. Class? I took the class. You know how they give you a warning and they say if you take the class, they'll take off the warning?
Oh, I know.
I did that. I took the class. Warning never came off. And then they said I violated the same thing that the warning was about, so I got a strike. And I'm like, well, I did the class. That should have taken off the warning. They're like, no, if you take the class, it takes the warning off in 90 days. I'm like, no, the warning goes away in 90 days whether you take the class or not. So why would it be 90 days if you take the class?
Well, no, because see, here's what I had happen one time. Because I got a strike. Well, because remember, I almost lost my channel back in like 2018.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of losing mine right now.
And I couldn't figure out why after 90 days I couldn't get my channel back. And they said, well, you haven't taken the class yet. So you have to wait the 90 days. But if you haven't taken the class, you still won't get your channel back. Huh. You have to take the class and do the 90 days.
Well, I took the class right away when they said the class. It's just you watch a video and then you answer some questions.
Oh, yeah, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
Thanks for that. And I didn't even watch the video. I just went through and guessed on the questions, and they were so stupid and easy that it was not hard.
Yeah.
And it was questions like, well, and the thing is, both times they got me saying that I was promoting the sale of firearms or ammunition, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we ban putting in links that, to sites that sell or auction sites that sell and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's no links in my video at all. I don't mention links. I don't show links. There's no links on the description. So where am I violating this rule? Because nowhere in the video did I talk about where you can buy it, how much it costs, or anything else. But they still said I was promoting. So they said it was violating the firearms policy. And I was like, well, I've read the policy. And that's what they keep telling you. Read the policy. Here's a link to the policy. I'm like, I've read the policy 100 fucking times and nothing mentioned in the policy.
They won't just go by what their AI overlords telling them.
Yeah. And I'm like, so what did I actually do wrong? And they're like, oh, well, I finally got them to do a manual review on one. And after the manual review, they came back and they said, and I said, see, there's no links, no nothing. They said, well, it actually violates our safety policy. You're engaging in or promoting unsafe or dangerous behavior. And I'm like, it's a 40-second short that was clipped by StreamYard and put up automatically, where I'm telling people, if you go over and buy merchandise right now, you're entered to win a Hollow Sun, red dot. And I'm like, how is that promoted? I'm sitting at my desk. I'm not even out shooting a gun or anything. And I'm telling people, if you go to my website, buy merchandise, you're entered into a Hollow Sun giveaway. And I'm like, how is that unsafe behavior? Oh, well, we can't tell you exactly how. In the spirit of fairness, we don't tell you how you violated the rule. I'm like,
that's fucking fair.
That doesn't make sense, because how are you supposed to change your behavior if you don't know what you did wrong? If you sit here and you read all the rules, you didn't break any of them.
They just wanted to give you a fucking strike. Dude, they did it to me. They gave me, so I don't even remember what all the strikes I've gotten, because there was only one time that I got multiple strikes at once that took my channel where I couldn't upload or do live streams. But then I've gotten strikes since then, but it'd be just like one strike, so I'd lose my fucking, live streaming for a week or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I used
to for a video that was just me telling David Hogg to go fuck himself. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all it was. It was just me fucking talking about how stupid he is. Huh?
I don't think that's against the rules.
Well, apparently it was, because I got a strike for it. And then I got a strike where I talked about the top 5 best budget AR-15s, even though there was no links or anything, but because I talked about prices. I talked about how much something would cost.
But see, that it doesn't say in the rules you can't say how much something costs. You just can't link to a site that sells them, auctions them.
Right. And I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't do that, but I still got a fucking strike for it. That's one of the ones that took down my channel for 90 days.
Same here.
So, and then I don't remember. I've gotten other strikes for other shit.
One was my fault.
Oh, and they took down.
One was the fault because we were doing a chat, and Jared over here fucking showed his Transformers Megatron in gun mode.
Oh,
and I got a channel strike for that. And I was like, it's a fucking tool. We were literally in the chat talking about it was a
that could be dangerous behavior, I guess, because you could spur people who have collector,
Hey, it was the Japanese edition that actually shot plastic bullets.
Yeah, so you might have triggered somebody. But with mine, also, I noticed, and this is one of the things I saw immediately, they had been going through deleting like dozens of my videos. I mean, in the last 24 hours, they had deleted like 24 videos. I'd gotten email after email after email that this video violates blah, blah, blah. This video has been removed from YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then I got the 2 strikes. But one of the topics I saw they removed every video of, and that is where in the live chat, StreamYard, I don't know who uses StreamYard, but if you use StreamYard, you can have clips auto-generated by AR, and it'll upload shorts for you from each channel. And I did that, and every time we would talk about Israel, it would upload them. You know, like, does Israel have the right, you know, to do this? Or, you know, are we on Israel's side? You know, and it gives it its own title, and I have never been on the Israel side. I've always been like, the Israeli government is a bunch of murderers and fascists. I'm not saying that Jewish people are murderers and fascists, but their government is. And I'm like, and that's not anti-Semitic because they're not even Semitic. They're almost all Polish. I was like, so every one of those videos got deleted. Every one of them. So I guess we're not allowed to.
I have for a couple years now, at least once a week, YouTube takes a video of mine down and tells me it violates. Now they haven't given me any strikes. They just tell me it violates TOS or some bullshit or whatever.
They don't give you a strike. They just take it down.
Yeah, they just take it down. I haven't gotten a strike in a while. I just got one not yesterday. I just got my chat from last night. They said it violated sexual content rules, and I was like, what? It was me and Honda. I don't know. We were just talking about bullshit last night for an hour, and I got a thing in my email this morning that it violated sexual content rules, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
maybe you shouldn't have throat fucked him on camera.
Maybe, but you know, it's YouTube. I thought they liked that kind of thing. I don't know, man.
Well, what I don't get is why they delete all my Israel videos when there's entire channels out there dedicated to talking shit about Israel.
Well, yeah, they let Candace Owens do whatever she wants, and
I mean,
nothing but talk shit about Israel.
So why did they delete mine, saying it violated the discrimination policy?
Dude,
and all
they are so that there are some topics that YouTube is so bipolar on. Israel's one of them, where it doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think of is that it's just all money related, and if somebody's generating enough money, then they can get away with doing whatever they want. And let's be honest, Candace Owens generates a lot of money.
I'm wondering how do the gun channels that's all they do all day is review products?
Oh yeah.
How do they stay online? Why are they not suspended?
That's a great question, because you know, I was getting I get strikes for anything I do that has to do, or not strikes, but I get all the videos that get pulled down are videos of anything I've done where I'm either gunsmithing or talking about gunsmithing, anything to do with AR-15s, and anything to do with AK-47s.
Just change the site that gets taken down.
Yeah, and there are whole channels devoted to this shit that are still up, and I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, it's part of the reason why I don't really do videos anymore. It just kind of took all the joy out of it. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no incentive to either. If you're a gun channel my size, there's no incentive to do a video. They're not going to promote it. You're not going to get very many views. And if you do get views, it's like I've got, like, say, a video I did the other day that's got, 25,000 views. I made $3. That's not worth it to take hours to make and edit and put up a video. $3, it'd be better to do an extra live chat and get one super chat. You'd make almost as much money.
Well, not only that, but the live chats are just more fun. I'd rather just talk to people.
If you do one more video, they got 2 for $5 biscuits at Hardee's.
What's that?
No, it's just not. I don't know. They don't really make it fun. YouTube and making videos used to be fun. I used to enjoy it a lot.
You tell people stuff, and you could have conversations, and you could actually show them things that where they actually learned something watching your video.
Yeah.
Now, if you teach them something, that you're doing something illegal according to YouTube. I don't know what it's about.
I just pulled up my email to search YouTube and strike. I've had 54 videos taken down and 8 YouTube strikes on my channel.
Nice.
That's some good numbers. I like it.
Yeah.
I got 2 right now currently. So I've got one that I have appealed and they still haven't gotten back to me. I had to work my way through like an hour and a half of talking to them online. First, you talk to a robot. And then when you ask to talk to a person, they send you to another robot that's a little bit better at acting like a person. And then once you ask for, and there was something I looked up, and there was a way you can say that I want to invoke my rights under the Persons with Disabilities Act to speak to an actual, you can do that, and they will have an actual person come talk to you. So I did that, and they actually had a person talk to me. And that's when they changed it from you violated the firearm policy till you violated the safety policy. One of the videos was an old video, and when it told me that it was bad, when I was getting a strike for it, when I saw you got a strike for this video, I went over and deleted it. I was like, well, if they don't want it on there, I'll just delete it. Well, then they tell me, well, you can't appeal it now because you deleted it.
Yeah, they do that to me. I learned that lesson the hard way. Same thing. It was one of the strikes that I couldn't get taken away because they're like, well, you deleted the video. And it's like,
I'm like, what does
well,
that
isn't that what you want? Like,
yeah, didn't you want me to take it down? And I did what you wanted. I know it even says right there when you go delete it. Remember, YouTube can still see it. So I'm like, well, then that means they can still appeal it. But no, you deleted it, so we can't even appeal it. So I've got one of them appealed. They still ain't got back to me after 3 days. So still waiting on that one.
Yeah, their rules and regulations are only in place so that they can do whatever they want to whoever they want at any time they want, and they don't care. I mean, unless you're going to get a lawyer involved, like the bigger channels can and stuff like that, then you're basically just screwed. You're at their mercy.
Yeah, the big channels get away with whatever they want to get away with, and if they get suspended within a week, they're back. A couple of days later, they're back, also, it's like, oh, we're going to crack down on every single person that does this, but all those foreign accounts that are spreading propaganda and everything else, well, there's nothing we can do about that. How can we possibly do anything about that? But if I change a site on a Beretta, they'll immediately give me a strike and delete the video.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, I had videos taken down where, because I started getting like smart to what they were doing. So instead of like going through and showing some of the things I was doing to a gun, I would just do a before and after, right? Here's what the gun looked like before. Here's what the gun looks like now. And then I would just be like, yeah, I did this, 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 and this. Oh, no, you told people how to do that. Well, no, I didn't tell anybody how to do it. I just said what I did. I didn't show anybody. I didn't, lay it out step by step how to do it. It was a before and after video. No, they don't care. They don't care.
Dude, when I was in high school, and I forget what class it was, they taught us how to make dry ice bombs. And then this kid came to me in the hallway one day, like a week later, and he's like, hey, how do you make a dry ice bomb? And I was like, oh, yeah, you just do this, this, and that, like they told us to do in the class. Well, he took that information, made a dry ice bomb, put it in someone's mailbox, which is like some kind of federal crime or something that. And they were like, hey, where did you learn how to do that? And they were like, Honda told me. So I got in trouble, bro. I had police. I had to talk to him in my house. Like,
I want to address something here real quick. Someone just wrote this. Admiral Crunch just wrote, so this smooth brain just figured out that YouTube, a private company, operates as, get this, a private company. And that just exposes Admiral Crunch's total ignorance, because companies like Meta, YouTube, etc., they get special government protections to not act like a private company. They are not allowed to act as an editor or promotional thing for any ideas or tech or ideology, because if they do, well, then they're liable for what's on their site. They get special government protection to not delete people's videos, to not censor people's videos, but then they do it anyway while still getting federal money and federal protections. You don't get it both ways. Either you're a private business and you're responsible for what you put out there, or you're not.
It's why FCC 230 needs to be rewritten to
Yes.
be much more specific, because they've been getting away with, because they are supposed to be, because it's basically broken up into two chunks. You're either a publisher or a platform. And if you are a platform, you just platform other people's things. And that's all you do. And you cannot be held responsible for anything done or said on your platform by someone else.
Yep.
If you are a publisher, if you are curating in some way, shape, or form, or editing or whatever else, well, then you are taking responsibility for that content, and you can be sued for that content. And they get to have it, for some reason, both ways, where they can be a publisher and they can curate content, but they still get all the 230 protections, which makes no fucking sense.
And they get all kinds of other protections too, because when I saw that they were literally stealing my super chat, and they don't hide it, they'll tell you. Well, they will at first, but then when you say, "Here, look, here's the screenshots. I got 5 super chats last night, $5 each. That's $25. If you took 30%, I should get like $16. I got $5." You know, well, they take 50%. They don't tell you that. It's like 52%, because they charge a fee and then they take their 30%. Well, that's you charging 2 fees. So why don't you just say we take half? And then they sometimes just take all of it. And then once you call them on that and you show them that here's what I originally had, here's what you changed it to, they're like, "Oh, if we deem that a comment is inappropriate, we can't allow you to profit off that. So we keep the money." I said, "Do you refund it?" They're like, "No, we keep the money and we donate it to charity at a specific time every month." So in other words, you hold it in your account, you get interest on it, and then you give it to a political campaign or something you want to give it to.
Charity is the man, the stripper, the strip club.
So
That is illegal in so many different ways. It's illegal because that is misrepresentation, to take people's money and then do something else with it like that. But I contacted 2 different state attorney generals, and both of them, when I finally told them what was going on, they're like, "Oh, that is a crime, but it's not when YouTube does it, because they own too many politicians and they've written in too many protections for them, so they can't sue them."
Yeah, well, because they make interest off the money, and then they write it off on their taxes once they donate it.
Yep. And it wasn't even their money.
Yeah, and it's not even their fucking money.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's one of these things where, yes, they are a private company. They can do whatever they want. And if they want to do that, that's fine. But they should be able to be sued for doing the things they're doing, just like any other company does. But they don't.
If they're going to edit and censor and approve what's on their site and then decide what can't be on their site, well, then they should be treated just like they're a magazine or a newspaper.
Right. Where they can be held liable or get sued or whatever.
Yep.
So they look, it honestly, when it comes down to it, it's not YouTube's fault per se. They're taking advantage of a situation because they can. It's the fault of the politicians who don't fucking do their goddamn jobs.
Well, it is YouTube's fault, because YouTube doesn't just like take advantage of a situation that just happened. They create the situation.
Well, yeah, they create the situation, but they were only able to create the situation. They were only able to create the situation because politicians are corrupt.
Corrupt, yes.
So, I mean, you know, I mean, yes, it's their fault, but it's also there are people and systems in place to stop them from doing that. But the people who have control of those systems are not doing their fucking jobs.
No, they allow it.
Yeah.
They turn a blind eye, or they write specific legislation to protect them.
Were you going to get a motorcycle, Yankee? Was that what you were talking about?
No, I'm not getting one. It was a nominal snowman was wanting to trade in his bike he's got now for a T7 from Yamaha. But I said I'd rather have a KLR 650. They're cheaper, and I just like Kawasaki better. But
I mean, if you're going to do off-roading stuff, seriously, you should get a DRZ 400. But
well, I think he wants more of a highway off-roader.
Yeah. So he doesn't actually want to go off-road.
Well, some people just like the dual sport, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know.
You start getting to a 500-pound bike, though. It makes going off road real difficult.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people, I mean,
and both of these are like 450 pounds each.
Yeah,
I mean, I just got rid of my KLR because it's too damn heavy for doing the stuff I actually want to do.
well, it depends on what you want to do. Like, I mean, there are plenty of bikes out there that, yeah, they're heavier and they're not made for serious off-roading, but they will do a hell of a lot more off-roading than a fucking street bike. You know what I mean?
If you want to drive, like if I wanted to drive to Eastern Oregon and then go off down some of the trails to see some of the stuff that's, off-road, down dirt roads and stuff, a KLR 650 is great for that. Because if I tried to do that on a, like a YZ or something, well, it'd be great for going out the trails and I could go places I couldn't go on the 650, but I would be dead before I could get all the way across the state riding it on the highways. I'd either be blown off by a semi truck, run over by somebody, or my back would just break from riding it.
Again, I think a DRZ 400 can do all those things. Like it's only a 400, but they go 85, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
They've got a bulletproof motor that can do that all fucking day.
Dude, I love the fucking fuck, dude. I ride this way more than my son does. My son's bike is, the 300 XL or whatever. I forget which one it is.
It's a 300L.
300L, thank you. I don't know. Anyway, it's fucking great. It's got dual use tires on it, so it's not set up strictly for off road. And I can go. I've got it up to about 80 on the highway. And it's pushing it, like it's, you know what I mean? But it'll do it.
That was one I rode, and my son sold his bike. He sold his little bike. He had the Kawasaki. I had the Honda 300. He had the Kawasaki 250. And he's like, hey, can I sell my bike and use it as a down payment towards this Camaro? And then I had to pay the rest on the Camaro after he put the down payment on it. But I let him do it because, that was his decision to trade up. But then he took my fucking bike. I don't even have a bike.
You had the better bike. I mean,
so he took my bike.
He played you.
Yes.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
So I don't have a bike now. He takes it all the time.
No,
summer he rides to work a lot.
It was a smart call.
Yeah, I got rid of my sport bike. I don't even have a sport bike anymore. It's just too fucking dangerous riding with all these fucking people on the roads in Colorado. It's like stupid.
Here, pay attention.
I've been trying to pick myself up on my new DRZ. I've been fucking out of work for about 3 weeks now because I got road rash all over my foot.
Well, that's because you decided to ride a motorcycle in Crocs.
Yeah, I was just testing it out in the parking lot. I fucked up. That's for sure.
Crocs do not belong on motorcycles.
Aiden got the black plastics off his 250. Oh, yeah, he's still got them on there. It's all blacked out. He likes it that way. I liked the red and white, but he's got it all blacked out.
I've been working on my Shadow because that's my little fun cruiser bike.
I don't have it.
The cruiser's fun. Like it's a good relaxing bike to just chill on. You know what I mean? It's a 600, goes more than fast enough for highway speeds, all that stuff. It's great. It's fun. It's relaxing. Smooth ride. But I think I'm gonna fuck. I let my son ride it a couple years ago, which I love my son, but he didn't get raised on motorcycles like I did. That's my fault. And he fucking dropped it and put a ding in the tank.
Oh no.
Yeah. He put a ding in the tank. He dropped it and the handlebar came back and smacked the tank. So
yeah.
And look, it doesn't affect it, whatever. And I wasn't mad at him. Like I told him, like, get on the bike, take it for a ride, and he was much more used to his, which is of course much lighter. His bike weighs like less than half of what mine does, So it's a heavier bike and whatever, and it doesn't handle the same, and he dropped it. So I think I just ordered a whole bunch of fucking like gun stickers and stuff. And I think I'm just gonna sticker the tank because I don't want to replace it yet. Just go old school fucking. Remember how when we were kids, those of us who were old enough to remember, like when you had an old jacket or something, you just put like pins and patches and stuff all over it instead of buying a new jacket, and somehow that became cool. That's what I'm gonna do to my motorcycle tank.
I every time we go to the car show, I end up deciding I want a motorcycle. I never actually get to get one because I get nasty looks, and then I get told later, you're not going to buy a motorcycle, right? And the two that I keep gravitating towards are so different because I either want an Indian 101 Scout, it's like a big bobber, or I want a Scrambler from Triumph, the 1200 Scrambler.
Well, it depends on what you want to get out of a bike, because you're right, those are two very different bikes.
Yeah, but I can't decide which one I'd rather have. And they're both in the same price range. They're both in that like $16,000 price range.
Well, I mean, my opinion for me, I love cruisers. I'd say get the Indian, but that's just personal preference.
Yeah.
I love cruisers.
And I'd say get the Scrambler, so.
Yeah. Cruisers, I mean, I did the sport bike thing when I was young, and I like my son's bike is kind of a dual sport. It's a little more off-roady than dual sport, but still, I like those bikes. But nothing beats just a good cruiser. Like I'm to the point now because I'm fucking old as shit. Like I just want to get on my bike, on a Saturday or something and just ride around for no real reason. I just want to enjoy the ride, a nice smooth ride. I don't want to go off-roading. I just want to relax and clear my head. And there's nothing better in the world than a cruiser for that. So it depends on what you want to get out of the bike, though.
I'll tell you one that I drove.
Like a T7 or.
What were you saying, Yankee?
What did he say?
He was talking about adventure bikes.
I was saying adventure bikes are the answer because you can do cruising or you can go off road.
Yeah, the adventure bikes are pretty cool. Like those BMWs.
You can't do hardcore off road, but
those BMW adventure bikes are nice.
I rode a BMW not too long ago, and I do believe it had like a Boxer engine on it, and that was the most smoothest riding bike I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah, they're nice, dude.
I was like, is it even running? Because you can barely tell it was running.
Yeah, no, they're not cheap, but they are really nice bikes, and they do offer you more options than just going with one. Like you get one of those nice BMW adventure bikes, and yeah, you're right. Those things are really, really smooth. Like you feel like you're riding on a cruiser. You're a little bit more upright. You're not as kicked back as you would be on a cruiser, but it's not like riding a crotch rocket or anything like that, right? It's still really comfortable. They're hefty bikes. They can go off road pretty easily as long as you got the right tires on them. They're good fun bikes, dude. I mean, you pay for a bike that's pretty damn good at everything.
Yeah, I mean they're wide and they got a weird you got to tuck your legs back a little bit because of the way the engine is built. Instead of your legs being way up here, they're kind of like back under you. But it was the smoothest riding bike I've ever ridden on. So.
Nominal snowman in your chest, right? Gold wings.
BMWs though.
Gold wings are like I've told my wife before. I was like, I think I do eventually want to get a gold wing just for me and her to like go on like weekend road trips on, because those gold wings. It's like driving a car, dude. You got a radio, you got air conditioning, you got a heater, but you're basically sitting in a lazy boy, both seats, the front and back. Like those are great. I mean, they're big, chunky things, and they're really made for highway driving more than anything else. But like to kick back and go on a long road trip, there's nothing in the world better than the gold wing.
They're big and heavy when you're not moving or if you drop them, but as soon as you start moving, it feels pretty nimble.
Oh yeah, no, they are.
Well, they're very heavy. That's one of the things I don't really like about the gold wings. And I think the bike I rode was an R1300. I think that's what that BMW is.
Well, gold wings that's not an everyday bike. That's not something you just pick up and ride whenever you want.
The gold wing, when I rode that, cost me some money because I had to replace somebody's the kick guards over here on the right hand side, because the first time I went around a corner and leaned just a little too far, it was like scrape.
Yeah,
this thing was so fucking wide and heavy.
Yeah, they're highway beasts. I mean, they're for long trips. They're not for just running around town or anything. It's not the bike I would pick.
Oh, the one thing I did like about them, I mean, when you're sitting in it and you got the full cowl and everything, I mean, it's almost like being in a car.
Oh yeah.
You can actually hear the stereo. That's the
Oh
first
yeah.
thing I was ever on.
No, they're really nice. They're really nice.
Think about those BMWs though, man. Those motors, they've been making them forever. And like the new motor might be a little bit bigger sometimes, like the 1300 is a little bit different than the 1200, but they last forever. They last 100,000 plus miles. They haven't changed the design very much. I mean, there's new amenities if you get a new one, you know, like the screen on them or whatever is nice to have versus the old one won't have it. But you can get a used one for pretty reasonable price and be pretty well assured that it's going to last for quite a while. So you don't really have to worry about buying a used BMW.
Yeah. By the way, Bark at the Moon in the chat's having a conversation with Nominal Snowman. And yeah, Bark at the Moon, you're 100% right. I think ultimately what it comes down for YouTube on all this shit, whether you're talking about videos they take down, videos they leave up, scam ads, any of that shit, it's all about money, dude. They're gonna veer towards whatever makes them money in whatever way, shape, or form that is. If that's bribing politicians, if that's taking certain videos down while letting another channel say the exact same thing and leaving that video up. It's all about money for YouTube, and they'll do whatever they can to make as much money as they can. And I mean, they're a business, so of course, that's their thing. But
I think it's actually a little more nefarious myself.
Well, it might be, but I do think money is the guiding force there.
Everything I've ever seen about Meta and YouTube and X and all those things, that when you look at their revenue they bring in from advertising, it in no way justifies their value, not even close. So you know there has to be something there that's more invaluable than actual revenue, and what it is it's controlling the message and what people think. So billionaires keep pumping money into these companies because it's how they control the masses, and buying off politicians is what allows them to decide what message they want to give people.
Yeah,
so I think it's more nefarious than money. I think it's more about being able to control the message, how they want to control it, because it's like I said, these companies don't bring in enough money to justify their value. If you looked at Twitter or X and saw, here's what it brings in every month, here's what it's valued at, here's what it puts out every month, it would already be bankrupt. If it was a restaurant, it would have been bankrupt. It would have been closed. But because it is a purveyor of information and a controller of the minds, then billionaires keep pumping money into it because it serves all their other interests.
And I would say the other big thing, and you mentioned it is the information, the data. Like for instance, and this used to be like very open and public. Like Google talked about this. One of the main reasons, even through all the years that YouTube lost money, the reason they bought YouTube and invested so much money into it, even though it lost money year over year over year over year, was because it was one of the best ways to gather data on people. Mm-hmm. And with that information, they turn that information into money, whether it's through like they take information they learn from YouTube and incorporate that information into their search engine and all the other things they do. And also the other side of that is, and look, good, bad, whatever. This is not about political opinions or anything, so I'm not making a judgment on anybody here. But everybody talked about fucking Elon Musk being the fucking savior of free speech and all this shit, and he talked about he was buying Twitter because of free speech. No, he bought Twitter because he wanted to train AI. That's why we got Grok. Twitter was data, information on people, on us.
And they want more information.
That data was valuable.
Yeah, and now they want even more information because anytime you sign into anything now, even my Canva program, which is a graphics program, even my other graphics programs and PayPal and everything, when you sign in now, it prompts you every time, and you have to click through like 4 screens to just get to your account. You have to click through screens saying, hey, do you want to sign in faster? Give us your facial recognition, your fingerprint, your biometrics. No, I don't want to sign in faster. I don't want to give you my biometrics, but they ask you every fucking time.
Every time.
Oh, you need to give us your biometrics. You want to be able to, you're going to lose access if you don't give us your biometrics. Yep.
They want that information. A lot of that information is going to build AI.
Mhm.
A lot of that information is being sold off. A lot of that information is being used for control because these corporations want control in whatever way, shape, or form they can get a hold of. Like it's all about the data and the info. That's what these social media websites, all of them, from YouTube to Twitter to whatever, that's what they bank on is the information. So they don't care if the business on its own loses money, because
No.
on the back end they're taking the information they get from it to profit and
Yeah.
to do what they want to do.
And control and make sure they keep making profit. And it's like I said, once they have all your information, all your biometrics, they got flock cameras everywhere. You know, there's some people that say, well, I'm not too worried about it. G-Web said this actually. I'm not worried about it because all this data, there's just no way they can go through all this data. There's not enough people working in the industry to actually.
That's why they're building AI.
They're building these data centers because they can watch every second of it and decide what you're doing and where you're doing. That's why they want the data centers.
I miss the good old days when they didn't really care about YouTube, and then like the mainstream media seemed to still have the power, and they would just ignore us. And then this little thing called Sandy Hook happened, and the government at the time under Obama was like, "Hey, we're going to pass a bunch of gun bills. We're going to make, you know, AR-15s or whatever, these assault weapons illegal, and you can't have them anymore," and whatever they were going to do. And because of YouTube, because of gun channels, because of people like you guys, and you know, much lesser extent me, we got together, got in the streets, got in their face, came together like organically. It was the first time in my entire life that there was an organic, actual nationwide protest against something the government was doing. And it was so strong and so intense that they backed down, that they didn't pass those laws. And then after that, they were like, man, we should really do something to control this. We got to like start stifling speech and taking away people's gun money. You know, like all these gun channels were making so much money back then. And then like shortly after that, they cut off the fucking hose and made it so that gun channels would, first of all, not grow. So you get shadow banned and you get all those things, but they also made it so that the advertisers wouldn't give you money. So
they wanted to go away.
Because of Sandy Hook.
They wanted us to go away, you know, without them having to ban us. They just wanted to make it to where most of the gun guys had to go back to work, you know, and didn't have time to do a gun channel anymore. So they wanted everybody to go away. But then there were some people like myself and some others, some people that were connected enough to the industry that they're still making money. They're still there. And then there's people like me that aren't concerned with the money. I'm not here for the money. So we're still here because we care about the actual cause. And so when they decided, well, these people that are here now aren't going to leave on their own, we've got to start taking away their viewership, taking away their channels, taking away all this other stuff because they didn't just leave willingly.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that Yankee, you're the reason I got into doing these chats in the first place, was because I got real sick one time. I had to be home for a week from work, and I started watching all these Gary the Glock videos that I just randomly came across, you know, like all those, you remember those videos you used to do? They're great, dude. And if you did them now, no one would fucking see them. Nobody would see them because they would shadow ban them and make sure that no one saw them.
Yeah, that channel, I got that message from YouTube a long time ago that your channel's been deemed unsuitable for most advertisers and viewers and will not appear in random searches or recommendations. People will have to actually search for you specifically or your title specifically if they want to find it and all that stuff. So,
I miss the days when Yankee used to do videos and he didn't know anybody was watching them.
Yeah,
that's when I found you.
Yeah, people were watching those. I thought they were. Well, I came back on it after doing a couple videos, and I'm like, wait, I just did these for a specific person. Why are other people watching these? I didn't know people could see your YouTube.
Well, weren't you like putting them on forums and stuff?
Yeah, I would make a video and put it on a forum, but I would host it on YouTube and then link it to a forum, and I didn't know people on YouTube could watch it. And the very first thing I ever did was how to disassemble, I think it was a Smith & Wesson 645, and I didn't even know anybody else could see it. I thought just the person I was emailing it to could see it. And then I came back and people had been commenting on it. I'm like, how are these fuckers seeing the video I put in? Because I didn't know.
I think the first video of yours I may have watched, I can't remember. One of the first ones was what's that gun you had? That little I think it was a 380, little stainless 380 where the sights are pushed forward on it.
It's a, oh God. I think you might be talking about the now I'm blanking on it. it's like a 1911, but it's got a big flat spot and then the
Yeah,
rear
right behind, and the sights are pushed forward for that flat spot at the back.
a Detonic.
Yeah, there you go. I think that was it. If it wasn't the first video of yours I saw, it was one of them.
I made that for the forum, for the gun forums, like, Glock.com, places like that, which are awful places, by the way. I never recommend anyone go to the forums. All the gun forums that used to be pretty good back in the 2000s, all they are now is basically, Hitler wasn't a bad guy, those kind of places. Now I'm like, I don't want to hang out there anymore. But it used to be, it was just all kinds of gun people coming together. But the forums really have kind of suffered since the YouTube explosion and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of incels on Glock.com and AR15.com. It's a big incel meeting. Let's see here. I think I got it. Oh, Edgar Cortez says, YouTube's intrusion into your channel seems like a First Amendment violation to me. We can't express any concern about a country that YouTube likes. That's bullshit. Well, that's what they say. And they don't go, and since they don't have to tell you what you violated, they'll just say you violated something. And you can read the rule and say, well, the rule says A, B, and C. I didn't do A, B, or C. And they're like, well, you should read the rules. I just read it. It does. None of that's in that video. So what did I do wrong? Well, we can't tell you what you did wrong. That's unfair. Because they literally said, I've got this transcript from it. At one point, they tell me we can't be specific in the interest of fairness and equal treatment. We can't be specific about what rules you violate. And I'm like, that makes no fucking sense at all.
It's the opposite of fair.
Yeah.
Well, they write the rules like that. They make them like 7 paragraphs long that include 17 different things that you could be doing wrong. And they're like, hey, you violated rule 2. Yeah, rule 2 is 17 different things in 5 paragraphs. How am I supposed to know what I did?
And then they always add at the end too, like, you can't do this, or this. And this is not a complete list. Well, then make a complete list.
Yeah. Anything we decide can be against the rules at any point in time. That's essentially what the rules are.
Yeah.
We for one reason, have decided we don't like you.
We are going to edit and censor to where things meet our political positions and ideas and the things we want people to see. But if they say that, then they're a publisher. So then they would be treated like a publisher. So they can't say that. But that's what they do.
It's because it's Andy Hook. It's all. That's not the only reason, but that's what made them realize that they had to pull the trigger and do all this shit. It was like, hey, we're losing our power. We used to have the mainstream media. We had the sitcoms. We had nightly news. We had all of this stuff that everyone was on the same page. And if we wanted to, we could pull the trigger and get rid of you or make you persona non grata or whatever, and everyone would listen. But now there's this alternative media where the people have a voice. And they're listening to things that we don't like. How do we control that?
Yeah, well, they took away that voice a long time ago. Like I said, first they took away the monetary incentive so that most people would just leave, because 90% of the people left. Remember, look back to 2013. Let's say summer of 2013. Look at the dozens of people that were fighting for a position in the live chats every night. And every one of them had a channel. Every one of them was making videos. And now how many of those people are, and a lot of them weren't even gun people that came over from car parts. That's where we got Chaos 311 or whatever.
Yeah, that fucked hard.
Car people coming over because it was profitable. They thought they could get famous here and it was profitable. But look at how many of them are around now. I'd say maybe 1 out of 10 is still around. And it's only the ones that are either highly connected to the industry. They basically work for the distributors, and they're paid by the distributors to promote product, or they belong to the organizations like GOA and stuff like that, or the NRA pays their way. And you notice not a single one of them was willing to turn on the NRA until the checks stopped clearing, even though the rest of us were talking about the NRA for a long time and the rampant corruption there. But every one of them stayed with the NRA till the check stopped clearing. And there's a reason for that. It's because that's where their money was coming from. So when YouTube was allowing money to flow to people for their work, they didn't have to be beholden to an ideal. They could say their own truth. But when the money started having to come from the people who made the products and the people who profited off the law or court cases, etc., well, then all the YouTube channels were then had to say, well, if I still want to make money, I got to become a shill. And that's what ruined the fucking YouTube for gun channels. Did it get quiet in here, or is it just me? Oh, where'd ever enough ammo go? Did he just get banned? I didn't even notice he left. Well, they left. Maybe his chat ended. I don't know. I went on to a big spiel there, and then they all just left. But that's it. We're out of time anyway, so I got to go anyway. But thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it. Maybe they'll come back tomorrow and chitty chat. Let's see. Is he going to try to come back in? Does he even know he's gone yet? Did anybody see when they left? When did they leave? Yeah, I didn't even see him leave. But thanks everyone for coming. I appreciate it. Remember, go over buy merchandise. If you can't buy merchandise or you don't want to buy merchandise, get entries into the Hollow Sun giveaway. We're getting close to giving it away. We're at least 2/3 of the way there, I'd say. So go on over there, get involved. Also, if you just want to get into the ammo can drawing, the knife drawing, all that stuff, we didn't get nearly enough tonight to do one, but maybe by tomorrow. So, and remember, you can choose one of the holsters too. So I'll try to work on getting the holsters up tomorrow. NEA dropped off his own channel also. Oh, maybe he got banned. Or maybe he lost his internet. I don't know which. But thanks everybody for coming. Hopefully we can do this again sometime. I will see everybody again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe. Till I see you again.